Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
An intense campaign between two candidates in New Haven is heating up just hours before the polls open. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. We're one day away from Election Day, and an older woman has filed a complaint against her opponent. Fox 61's Kate Pattyfoot has more.
Alderwoman Angel Hubbard, who represents Ward 3, claims to have proof that Miguel Pittman bribed the unhoused population to vote for him.
I'm just here to be a servant for the community, but I will not cheat my way in it.
Monday afternoon, Hubbard filed a complaint with the city town clerk against her opponent, Miguel Pittman.
Serious allegations of the unhoused were offered a bribery. It was they gave them an address to use, to go down to Southern State University to that polling site, to use that particular address, and in exchange they were given a plate of food for their vote.
Pittman denies these claims. Pittman is one of the owners of Sandra's Next Generation, and he says he has always given food to the homeless people for years.
To try to convince someone to vote for me for a dinner, it doesn't make sense. They're going to vote for me anyway because that's what we do. That's what we've been doing in our neighborhood for over 20 years.
The complaint alleges Yanitzia Perez and Joel Torres were approached by Pittman's wife on October 20th. She offered them free plates of food but said they had to vote first. And in this video that a witness took, you can hear her saying just that.
We voted, then we came back to the restaurant and we ordered the food and we were on our way.
In the complaint, the two described themselves as homeless without an address. However, the address that was given to them was to Christian Community Action.
You see them all lined up on the side of the church, and that's where they sleep at night. So being that they sleep there, that's their address.
But again, in the complaint, the married couple described themselves as homeless without an address. The complaint also alleges someone from Pittman's campaign accompanied Perez and told her who to vote for while at the ballot box. It also says the couple was not asked for any identification when registering to vote or voting. The complaint alleges members of the Pittman campaign took absentee ballots from voters. Hubbard says she's disgusted.
We are losing focus of the issues of the ward, and now it has become an actual war. And it's unfair. It's unfair to the constituents. It's unfair to the leadership of the city of New Haven that we both want to represent.
Pittman said he expected something like this to come from Hubbard.
And she understands that tomorrow it's going to tell the true story in terms of the direction where the vote is going to be, which is I will win by a landslide.
It's important to point out that these two candidates ran against each other last year in a special election, and there was a recount. In New Haven, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
Okay, thank you. The New Haven mayor's race is also drawing a lot of eyes. Republican Steve Orozco is challenging Democrat and current Mayor Justin Elicker, who is seeking his fourth term. But Orozco is now hoping to become the first Republican to lead the city since the 1950s. Orozco previously worked on Wall Street and owns a professional fight league. He says his wrestling background has taught him about failure and accountability. Meanwhile, Elicker says he recognizes there's a lot more work to do in the city, and he plans to address housing and safety if he is reelected.
So I think just that drive and that passion just has propelled me into politics because of my background too, in finance, business owner, and my education.
What I hear from residents when I'm out in the community is that residents are excited about the direction that the city is headed in, but also, concerned about the things that we're all concerned about, making sure that we have safe neighborhoods, making sure that our trees are trimmed and our sidewalks are fixed and our streets are paved, making sure our schools are good, and making sure that we confront this challenge around housing. So we've got a lot more work to do.
If you plan to head out to the polls tomorrow, there are three things you should know. Here in Connecticut, we have municipal elections this year, which means many towns and cities are voting for mayors, select persons, council members, and other leadership positions. You can cast your vote in person tomorrow from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. If you still need to register to vote in your town, you can do so in person tomorrow as well. And Fox 61 has you covered on Election Day. Tomorrow, tune in at 9 p.m. on Fox 61 Plus for an update update as Connecticut results come into our newsroom. And then at 10 and 11, tune in to Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus. We'll have reporters live around the state to bring you the very latest updates. And if you plan to head out to the polls tomorrow, you might also think about bundling up a bit. We're expecting a windy Tuesday, which will make it chilly as well.
Yeah, and I feel like, Rachel, we just keep going farther and farther into our closet, pulling out, okay, now I got to get this thicker jacket. Oh, wait, this guy might work better today. I know you understand.
I do. I mean, like, embarrassed to say that I was walking around with a heated vest today.
She was glowing.
It wasn't even that cold. Even I know that. But just, it's the sign that things are starting to change here. We had some showers, some downpours, even some rumbles of thunder come through with a cold front passing through tonight. And now in the wake of that front, last raindrops just exiting Stonington here, we will turn windy as we head through the evening tonight and tomorrow. There are some additional showers to the northwest. Other than maybe a sprinkle, most of those should dry out by the time they get here. And we did see a gust up to 45 miles per hour as those storms came through in Groton. Now we're seeing gusts to 30. And tomorrow, all of us could see gusts up between 30 to 40 miles per hour. Not enough for any wind damage, but enough for you to want to hold onto your ballot this election day. Overnight lows will be in the 40s. Tomorrow by noon, we're in the mid 50s, and we'll see high temperatures climbing in the mid to upper 50s as we head through the afternoon. We're going to talk about another chance for rain this week. Your full forecast in just a bit.
We've learned a woman was assaulted in Middletown while leaving the Democratic headquarters. Police tell us it happened Saturday afternoon. Investigators say a man, later identified as 56-year-old Joseph Lopez, was walking behind the woman and then closed the distance. The victim says Lopez made a comment about her walking too fast, and she then hit him in the face to get away. Lopez was arrested. Police say there is no evidence to suggest the incident was politically motivated.
Glastonbury home is destroyed after a massive fire this afternoon. The good news here, though, is no one was hurt. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi spoke with the family. She brings us the latest.
It was a devastating day for this family, and I was able to speak to one of the family members who told me he was still trying to make sense of what happened. And he also told me he rushed to safety as soon as he could. Glastonbury first responders were dispatched to Cedar Ridge Road Tuesday after receiving a 911 call of a house fire. Glastonbury Fire Chief Michael Thurs says the call was made around 3:13 p.m. Several fire crews, including firefighters from surrounded areas, assisted on the scene.
Prior to our arrival, we had a pretty good smoke condition in the air, so we requested mutual aid right off the bat, which brought in Manchester Fire as well as Hebron and Bolton for tanker because the area does not have fire hydrants in it.
A family member told Fox 61 off camera he was alone in the house when he heard a loud noise. He says he took his 2 dogs and ran to safety. And when he wanted to go back, he says it was too late.
So right now, significant damage to the home at this time. The residents will be put up by the American Red Cross.
A neighbor who did not want to be on camera also told us he initially heard a loud pop before he realized something was wrong. He said after a few minutes he came outside and saw flames coming out of the home from a distance.
Fires get progressively hotter and faster, and what we say is get out, don't try to put it out, call 911, so get an early start so we can help stop it.
Firefighters were able to quickly put out the fire and no one was hurt. Chief Thurs tells me the state fire marshal will take over the investigation. In Glastonbury, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
Thank you, Valerie. Investigators are working to find out what caused a deadly house fire this morning in North Haven. That fire took the lives of an 8-year-old boy and a man who lived in the house on George Street. North Haven's Fire Chief Paul Januszewski tells us besides the 2 victims, 4 other people were inside the house. They made it out on their own. He says the man was found deceased by the time firefighters got to him. The victims were related to each other. Firefighters say the home was recently renovated, which slowed them down when it came to putting the fire out.
Heavy fire throughout the building, all 3 floors. The home's been remodeled several times, so it made the traditional searches a little more difficult than it normally is, and the firefighters did a tremendous job locating the individuals. So when you start looking at what you think is a traditional Cape, traditional colonial, and you add additions onto it, it does change the makeup a little bit. And obviously in an environment where you can't see anything at 0 visibility, and you're trying to make your way to various rooms, and it's just not normal.
Now, the state fire marshal's office and the local fire marshal's office are working together to pinpoint the cause of that fire.
The Trump administration says it will partially fund SNAP this month during the government shutdown. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says it will pull $4.65 billion from its contingency fund. That would cover 50% of current allotments for eligible households, but recipients will not see those payments immediately. Court documents show the Trump administration decided against pulling money from other sources that would provide full SNAP benefits for the month. This comes after 2 federal judges ordered the administration to not suspend benefits. More than 390,000 people in Connecticut rely on those funds to eat, and state leaders say partial funding is not enough. Even though the Trump administration plans to continue partially funding SNAP, state leaders say it's not enough. So since that SNAP funding has run out, many food banks in our state have struggled to keep their shelves stocked, they tell us. Hands on Hartford is one of those. Director Janet Bermudez says they're out of produce. They're running low on canned goods and non-perishables.
Need to meet the basic needs of our people. They deserve it. We all deserve to have our basic needs met, so we can't forget about the unseen in our community.
Governor Ned Lamont says the state will start by funding 3 million meals for Connecticut Food Share, but that number can be increased based on the need. During next week's special session, Lamont says the state will discuss additional funding that could be used for Food Share and other subsidiaries that have been impacted.